Hey, everyone. Oh, we're back, baby.
Hi.
What's up? How are y'all? And welcome to the Challenge 40, episode 12 and 13 by your faves, the fave ladies of Reality Unloaded podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a minute. We had to take a week off, to reconvene, to gather ourselves, to decompress from what we're about to go into in 2025.
Yes.
And it was necessary. If you don't feel the same, good for you. But it was very necessary for us. Brandon is out this week, but he will be back eventually. But he will be missed today as our resident male perspective on the pod. But how are you doing tonight, Lena? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, y'all. This week was lifing. I'm ready to talk to my faves. Let's get into this pod and let's get juicy. Let's get into it.
Let's get into this review for sure. So, again, we are going to be recapping episode 12 and 13. It's a double review episode. And honestly, not much happened. Hey, Sophie, thank you for joining us as always. We missed you too. Hope you're having a great night. But honestly, these two episodes, it's like we took the best break. We made the great decision of taking that break when we did because these episodes were a little dry. It's like slowed down a little bit, even though we got the mini final for episode 12. So we start off the episode, right? They're back in the house. Not much is really going on. Pretty much Aviv mentions her injury, which I feel like is one of the most important things, right? She mentions her injury and she's hoping that the next daily challenge does not involve running because she knows that she injured herself in the last daily challenge. And I'm like, oh, okay. So clearly they're setting this up.
Or Aviv, yeah.
Aviv, girl, they got you.
Yeah,
And
gave you the opposite of what you wanted, honey.
Right. Surprise, surprise. It is the mini final. So, in the mini final, players will race along the sand dunes to complete 3 checkpoints, right? Checkpoint 1 is dig out key from the sand and race to the next checkpoint. Checkpoint 2, use their key to unlock a paddleboard and row to the next checkpoint. Checkpoint 3, players must lift 40 what's
like
those
baskets looking
baskets
thing.
the same little things that they did for the first daily challenge.
Yes,
to memorize the logos of one of the 40 seasons under them. These logos are assigned to a number which align with the letters of the alphabet. Players must match the logo with the letter, right? And TJ says the first man and woman to reach the finish line wins. The second to last male and woman gets set, or the man gets sent into the arena, and the second to last woman gets a penalty at the next daily. The last place man and woman, shockingly enough, get purged and eliminated from the game. How did you feel about this moment?
I love a purge. I think for how many episodes in, I was waiting for a purge. I was waiting for this excitement. So I think it comes at a perfect time. I enjoyed honestly the mini challenge in itself. I thought it was good. I thought it was really challenging all of the players in a different way. One thing that I was really surprised about was the heat. Like, I guess I'm not appreciating how hot it must be in Vietnam, but really seeing them kind of like burn out so quickly, very, very interesting to me. So the final is going to be
brutal.
Rough. Yeah.
It's gonna be rough because they've been saying it's super, super hot. And just a reminder, Theo, he has a 2-minute penalty at the start of this daily because he placed last in the last challenge, which is super important at this point. Like, this is a timed event. So I felt a little differently, I guess, like because there wasn't much to it, but I guess the highlight of it was like the endurance. And they had like the little bit of the equalizer with matching the seasons, and the logos are assigned to a number, etc. Who did you think was gonna do well though? Like seeing this mini final, who were you expecting to do very well and who were you expecting to do poorly?
So for the men, I was definitely expecting Jordan to really kind of shine in this because he tends to be really good endurance based.
Hmm.
I definitely thought Bananas was going to be up there as well for this challenge. I thought Nehemiah was going to do a lot better, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, because I know he's also very good with endurance. For the females, I was ready for, Rachel to kill it, for Cara to kill it, Aviv. Jenny was not I wasn't expecting much because I know she has that like exercise induced asthma. But definitely Rachel, Aviv, and Cara were like my top girls. I thought were gonna do great.
Yeah, so I was very surprised about Nehemiah, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I expected Kylan and Jordan to do very well. And Johnny as well. But everybody else fall under them. But I was really not expecting Nehemiah to be purged. I will say that. I
Yeah.
was very surprised by that. Because I felt like he's done a decent job, at least like staying under the radar. And yes, he hasn't had much camera time, or we haven't really seen him do much in the house. But I think he was doing a good job skating by for as long as he did. And I think if it wasn't for the purge, like he would have been there longer.
Agreed.
Um, Another thing, I was kind of expecting Tori to do well just because like she
Mm.
has been doing so well this season. She's obviously been proving herself to be a strong competitor, but I feel like this season she's really been performing at her best. And then another thing was because it had to do with like the seasons and the logos, Tori had already won a daily challenge that had something like that. And she
Yeah.
was the main one. So I was like, oh, I feel like this is gonna come easy to her in comparison to the
Yeah.
other women.
The only difference with this is that it was more of a memorization type of puzzle, not necessarily like she had to remember them in order. It was more of
True,
the
true.
way they were organized. And I know Tori is really good, but endurance wise, I feel like Rachel and Cara tend to be better.
Hmm.
I feel like Tori overall tends to be stronger when it's like more of a physical, like climbing or swimming or things like that. So
I get you. I will say this. I did find it interesting that during this mini final, we see Rachel kind of make comments about like Jenny's endurance and how she doesn't really see her as a threat because
yes.
Jenny is struggling so bad. I also want to shout out Aviv for like pushing through this. And granted, she wasn't one of the top women, but she wasn't last place either. And for her to
No,
have that major injury, like that sends a lot of about her strength.
it was her plantar
And
fasciitis. Like
yeah,
it's her foot, y'all. Like on every
mm-hmm,
step, she must be in excruciating pain.
excruciating pain.
Yeah, so she killed that for sure.
And then she kills the next episode too. And I was just like, I don't think people are realizing like Aviv is doing really well. And granted,
Yeah,
like she's playing the middle very well.
yeah,
Um, but anyway, so the winners of the mini final turned out to be Kylan and Tori. Kylan is the first one for the guys. I think he comes in at like a minute and like 5 minutes, an hour and 5 minutes. Then Jordan's like a few minutes behind, or maybe like 2 minutes, not far behind at all. And
yeah,
then Tori ends up meeting them, I want to say like 10 minutes after, or within 10 minutes after, which is great. Like, honestly, they all did a great job. Everybody's literally dying from this heat. I
yeah.
would not have liked this mini final at all.
Girl, if there's one thing I hate is sweating and being hot. So you know me, I'd be like, it's fine. Purge my
Right,
ass. Purge
right,
my ass to like a resort in Vietnam because it's not it. Who
right.
misses the couch on the show? I don't.
Oh, I forgot about her. I've
Who's the
been
couch?
forgot.
No.
Like, girl, thanks for reminding me she was on because I definitely forgot. Second to last place was Theo and Michelle. And mind you, like Michelle and Laurel are going head to head, and Michelle's like, oh, you're still working on this kind of thing. Cause she's behind, like truly behind. And, then it turns out that Laurel pretty much just gives up.
Nehemiah's surprised.
Yeah. And Nehemiah, he does it till the very end, till he literally can't anymore. And he notices, okay, Theo's up this hill. Like, that's it. It's over for me, you know? But when it comes to Laurel giving up, I want to say this. Laurel, you have a lot of nerve talking the way that you're talking. And this is how you perform this season.
The best part is removing Kara's face from like the top
Mount Rushmore
of competitors and putting honey, you just gave up. Literally just gave up. It's wild. It's wild. But Kara's comment was really interesting in her saying that it was kind of a protective measure for Laurel because Laurel's not in the best shape that she's been, and she doesn't think that she'll hold up in the final, and it's her way of kind of like weaseling out of the final. What do you think about that, Keeks?
I kind of agreed with that moment, or I could see how that could be true. And you could tell that like Laurel was kind of just like almost like convincing herself that the way that she went out was commendable for Laurel,
Yes.
Because she was like, oh, I'll just see you guys at the reunion. It's almost like she's hyping herself up because this is how you chose to go out, and like you can't brace the fact that you went out this way. So like I'm gonna try to mask it by trying to make it seem like I'm happy to leave and I'm happy to see you guys at the reunion and whatever else. Like, sure, maybe you didn't give a damn because you already won All Stars 4. But this is interesting from you, Laurel, especially when you have so much to say and you're constantly making comments about people's abilities. Like, where was the Laurel that was boosting Zach when he was giving Where was the Laurel that was giving motivation to people, in All Stars 4? Because there were moments where she did do that to several of her team members on All Stars 4.
Where's the Laurel who says that she's been carrying Kara all of these seasons, right? Because I don't think I saw you carrying Kara today at this episode.
Right.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And I think it was such a karmic, like, punch in the face.
Yeah.
For her to lose to Michelle, too. Like, it's really kind of like, you reap what you sow, honey. Like, it all comes back. So
what goes around comes around. And baby, it came at her hard. Like, and clearly she's been the topic of the challenge fandom, the challenge season. I will give her that. Laurel obviously offers entertainment, or she's at least somebody that is willing to be the villain, right?
Yeah.
In this storyline. However, Laurel, please, like I was so surprised by this. I could not believe, like, yo, wait, because this is how you're moving. And the thing was, like, we've heard of it. Like, we're not going to give any spoilers or anything like that. We're not the type to do that. However, when I first heard about Laurel getting purged, I didn't think it was going to be out like this.
Exactly. I thought it was either going to be an injury. It was going to be something that she literally could not compete. I don't think I've ever seen her give up, like, in anything. So this was so crazy to do it on such an epic season too. Wow.
Yeah, I was very surprised by the behavior, but then again, it's Laurel. So Laurel and Nehemiah get purged, and I did want to point out that Nehemiah made a very funny comment, and he's like, "There's no redemption house this season," and right, where was the redemption house for this season? Because we needed it, especially with some of the entertaining people that we had at the start of the season. We absolutely needed a redemption house this season, and it's a damn shame y'all did not make money for that. Did not put any money aside, any coin, prepare for that, because, like, why would you not?
Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball. Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball with that, because there were too many good, especially if you're going to eliminate 8 really good competitors right from the get. Like, there's drama there. But honestly, for production has been failing us with drama this whole season, to be honest, because what they're advertising in trailers and what they're showing on TV during the episode is just lost gold.
No, and I think in general, like the house is like very kumbaya at this point. Like, yes, the house is divided, but there's not really much going on. Like, anyway, 30 redemption house, 40 no redemption house. Like, how does that make sense? I don't understand. I don't get it either, Sophie. All right, so we're back to the house. Rachel talks about how great it is that Laurel's out because at this point, nobody has to go up against Laurel or face her in an elimination, which many of the girls were worried about. Understandably so. Then she also mentions how although she's lost Nehemiah and she was working with Nehemiah, it doesn't necessarily impact her game as much. And again, I just love these talking points from Rachel, her telling us about her game. I feel like she's one of the very few people that's talking strategy to us, and at least in the confessionals. I feel like people are still like in their feelings about friendships, and she's setting, like, she's really doing well setting herself up. That's just how I feel about it. And I don't think people are noticing how well she's set up. Well, we kind of talk about it a little bit later on episode 13, you know, with Rachel's Angels. And then we get to the we're back at the house. We kind of see how Derek's social game is pretty much keeping him safe, right? Because I'm sure many have thought, like, how the hell is Derek not getting voted into eliminations? Well, clearly this whole little Miss Cleo moment with the wig, that's a reason why. Because somebody like Derek needs to stay in the house or these people are going to go crazy. How did you feel about that? Because I was like, honestly, I get it now. I get why Derek is still there.
Can I be honest with you? Like, this is going to swift a little bit away from like the challenge and the topic, but I think this is why like this community, the LGBTQ plus community, is so important, because they bring so much light and laughter and fun, and you know, they know how to really be playful with life, and we need that so much. It's so beautiful. And Derek shows that, right? He connects with the girls. He makes it comfortable with the guys. Like, it's really such a great thing. And Derek is doing it so well. I thought Ryan was doing it well too. Like, Ryan nominated himself. Otherwise, people had his back too. So I think Derek is doing a great job. I think he's going to continue to go far because of his social game. We see in episode 13 where Bananas actually calls him a social master, because he's doing that, and he's doing it really, really well.
Very well. Flying under the radar himself. And then we see a conversation. Obviously, we know because of Tori winning at the end of the day, like, she is not sending Jordan into elimination, right? There's no freaking way. But there's a comment made by Theo, like, oh, that he would like to face Jordan, you know, so for some sort of redemption. And I said, this is why I also like Theo, because he's just gonna say it. And even though he might be joking, but like, there's truth to the joke, and he's not afraid to go against any of these guys, honestly. And he was like, listen, like, I would prefer to take you out so I don't have to face you later and you beat me, which is valid.
The only one who's beat him. So it really makes sense. And honestly, like, Theo might not be at his like top physical shape this season, but Theo's still pretty good. Like, he still comes in strong. He's not, like you said it yourself, he's not afraid of anybody. And that's what I miss about the challenge. I miss when people like put their big boy girl pants on and just went in and like were ready to compete and didn't want to skate to the final.
Me too. I agree. And also, I didn't mention this, but I was honestly very surprised that we were even going to have somebody else leave. Like, I thought with just the purge, like, that was it. Like, and I didn't even really think that we were going to see the elimination later either, because of the fact that we had the purge. So I was like, oh, we're probably not even going to see the full elimination. So I was just like, oh, like, they're really trying to fit this in.
I feel like there's still so many people left, and because they're only doing one elimination a night, it makes sense, you know?
Yeah, I get you too. There is a lot of people still left, so it makes sense on that part too. All right, so we get to the chamber. Oh, the chamber, the sweaty chamber. And pretty much it's Johnny and Jordan who were the targets in the chamber, and Kylan and Tori are there, right, as the winners. And then you have Theo on the other side of the table, pretty much them trying to see what's gonna happen. Well, Johnny comes in there, he's like, listen, I don't even know why we're doing this, which I get.
I know, but the foot on the table.
Listen, okay, can we talk about something else? What is the foot fetish that production has with these last 2 episodes? We have seen so much foot action. I'm over it.
We see it in 13 too.
Yes, the last 2 episodes, like, what is happening?
I cannot. Why? I really cannot.
Did Dan Schneider film this? Why do we see so much feet?
And I'm not a fan of feet at all. So like when Bananas put his foot on the table and started cutting his toenails, I like gagged. I literally gagged him. I was like, what is
that? Was so disrespectful.
Oh my God, it's so bad. If my mom was in that room, she would have whooped your ass, boy.
I would have cursed him out. You nasty, crusty, musty, dingy. Oh, you are so nasty.
Oh my God.
And then throwing the toenails, because he literally was flicking the toenails apparently, or throwing them at them.
Look.
I would have fucking fought him. Dan Schneider, isn't that his name? The guy that did all that, and Amanda Show and Drake and Josh. He was like obsessed with feet.
The big chunky guy.
Yeah. Is that not his name? I forgot.
Yeah, I think that is.
Well, listen, like, and I get it. Like, I'm not trying. She can deserve it, but like, I'm sorry, if I was her, you're not about to get some niceness out of me. You're not like, and that's my thing. I'm like, Tori, like, girl, stop trying to like please this guy or being nice to him or consider his feelings. If it was the other way, like, Bananas would not give a damn about anybody. And on top of that, like y'all pointed out several times, if y'all are not kissing Bananas' ass, he's not gonna like you.
Yeah.
If you don't do what he says or what he wants you to do, he's not gonna fuck with you like that. So I just didn't understand.
Moreover, you took the shot. Stick with it. Who cares at this point? Like, you've already done the damage. Like, why are we trying to like kiss around him and try to make it better? Like,
yeah, I literally would have been like, the fact that she was like, you know, since we're kind of like friends, or you were my friend or something like that, I'm gonna give you time to, you know, say what you want to say. And it's like, and hear you out. No, you should have been like, listen, you going in, point blank period. You should have known that.
Yeah, I would have been like, we don't even need to be in the chamber. We don't need this whole hourglass to go by. I would
have respected that way much more. And that's why I understand why Johnny was like, okay, I'm annoyed, but the toenail thing, the toenail clipping, sorry, my guy, but he's providing something, because if not, it would have been dry and boring as hell. I will say that
for sure.
But anyway, so Bananas is going in. We knew that. I love the fact that Bananas also said, like, Kylan, your wardrobe sucks. Tori, you're not funny.
Yo, he is a banana scorn. He is not going to give it up.
Oh, my God. That was so funny. Why did he say that to Kylan? Kylan said, I think my wardrobe is actually pretty chill.
Poor Kylan. He was confused.
Okay, so then after the deliberation, Bananas pretty much says like he has to win so that all of the Bananas angels don't get chosen, or any of them don't get chosen as targets. Cara pretty much says like he was being bratty as per usual, and he acts like Tinkerbell. And I said, honestly, y'all are one and the same sometimes. So even though like I fuck with you, Cara, but sometimes you act just as bratty. And we've seen it before. And then Tori points out that the guys will want Tori to stay, not only because she's a strong competitor, but she's also one of the few girls willing to go after Bananas. So pretty much her going after Bananas is a shield for the rest of the guys, which I also understood as well. And And then, which I felt like was very smart for Tori to point out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she is right. She's kind of she is doing the dirty work that nobody else wants to do. And why wouldn't the other guys align with her, right? We all know Bananas, once he gets into the final, that's a dangerous place for him. So let's not get him there.
And then pretty much Bananas, he's just fed up. His back is against the wall. He has little to no allies but the Bananas Angels, who really haven't really been doing much. Like we see it later on, it's really Rachel's Angels.
Yeah.
As they pointed out. But yeah, I was just like, okay, Bananas, like you're just mad because like they pointed out several episodes ago, I think it was Ryan and Derek, like Bananas is just mad because he does not have as much protection as he normally does in a season, and he has to actually go into eliminations. Like people don't care.
Yeah.
That makes no sense though. Ooh. She wants Bananas gone but protects Jordan. How's that good for other men? They ain't outrunning him. Oh yeah, no, it's not good for the other men,
but it's
per
good for
se.
Tori.
It's good for Tori. So
Jordan's a strong competitor, and if they need to partner up in a final, she wants Jordan with her. So I mean, I think Tori's playing smart. Like it really makes sense why she's keeping Jordan around.
And at the end of the day, Bananas being gone is still good competition getting out. So sending him in makes sense. But I get it. I do agree with you. Like Jordan is literally also skating by way too much. And I get it. Like the women want to obviously run the final with him if it comes down to it. But I'm like, okay, you guys also want to make sure that, I mean, I just feel like there's other good competitors in there as well that they could still rely on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be Jordan.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's move on to the elimination. So Tori chooses Bananas and he shows his pasty ass to the rest of the freaking challengers while he's going down into the elimination set. And I hated that. I was like, why? First of all, your toenails disrespectful. Now you're showing your ass crack. Oh my God. Listen, guys, if there's one thing about me, I'm going to let y'all know right now. Nothing pisses me off more than seeing a man's ass crack. Oh my God. At any given point, I hate it. When a man is bent over and I see that ass crack, oh, immediate ick.
Yeah, no, immediate ick when they bend over, but this situation, I thought it was actually funny. So this didn't give me an ick, like a little ass. I was like, all right, show that little ass, like that's fine. But I thought it was so funny. Like I definitely cackled. I was like, all right, Bananas, like you really taking it over the top today.
Yeah, I mean, I literally would have been like, oh my fucking God, like I hate. And then a pasty white ass crack like that.
Hey, we don't all have those beautiful melanin genes.
Well, but either way, like that one, and I bet you it was fucking hairy. Oh my, let me stop. Okay. Anyway, I just did not like that, but I get it. Like he was being a fucking clown about it. And again, he's one of the few people providing some sort of drama because it has slowed down. So we get to the elimination rules, and it's called cramping out. And again, this is Bananas versus Theo. And players begin putting 8 poles into their opponent's tube. Then they will go through their tube before running back to the start to play a game of high-low against TJ. And if they win, they can add an additional pole to their opponent's cylinder. They will repeat this until it's impossible to get through their tube because of the many poles. And then the player to outlast their opponent wins. They have a minute to get through the tube, right? And eventually after several rounds, they shortened it to 30 seconds, which I feel like they should have shortened it to 30 or started at 30 from the beginning. Yeah. And how did you feel about this elimination? Because I thought it was interesting, but as soon as I saw it and what the rules were, I knew Theo was going home.
Agreed. I definitely knew that Theo was going to go home unless Theo was really lucky or very strategic in placing his poles. So I knew that Theo had the disadvantage being a taller, bigger guy, but I also thought that depending on how strategic he is, he can win it. I actually really enjoyed this elimination because I haven't seen something like this on the challenge in a very long time, where it's really not super physical, but really strategic, but not necessarily a puzzle either. So I really enjoyed it. I was surprised at how well the guys did for as long as they did, especially Theo, because my man was snaking through that for a minute.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually very surprised by somebody like his size to be able to wiggle on through that. And I think Bananas even said that they did about 13 rounds or something like that before they changed it to 30 seconds, and he was still keeping up with him. So I really was like, dang, like Bananas might lose this, shockingly enough, but I also kind of was going into it expecting Theo to lose regardless because of how it was set up and the fact that they're so different in size. But hey, yeah, I was again shocked by Theo's performance. And I'm sure that they're probably bruised the hell up. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Imagine.
And you know, I think what we're not appreciating is how much like physical, like core strength and like arm strength it takes to get through those poles. Because you see that Theo and Bananas at one point, like they're on top of the poles, they have to pull themselves up, down. So it really wasn't easy, though they made it look a lot easier than it was.
Yeah, they did. They did make it look easy. And at this time, while they're doing the elimination, we see Josh rooting for Bananas and Theo. And here comes your faith. Here comes your faith, Michelle. And she says, you rooting for Bananas is you rooting against me. How did you feel about Michelle saying that to Josh in that moment, Lena?
She wasn't wrong. This is the one time she wasn't wrong. Like, she was right. Like, Josh is supposed to be her ally, but is literally helping, or not necessarily helping, but cheering for someone who we know was going to send Michelle and Olivia in as targets. Like, there was no question. So I understood her point. But listen, Josh is playing the fence. He's played the fence since episode 1. He's going to play the fence through the final if he makes it. Like, he's just, that's his only strategy to continue to go through, is that he needs to have as many allies as possible.
See, and I'm on the opposite side of that.
Really?
I felt like, okay, I get it. Like Josh, him rooting for both of them, it's annoying. Like, please, like, shut up. But because I also felt like, all right, you're doing too much. Like, you don't have to talk every minute, Josh.
Yeah.
You know? But
he has to make sure they hear him.
Right. But I did feel like when Michelle said something to Josh, I was like, Michelle, not everything is about you. So I understood where he was like, oh my gosh, like everything that I do sets you off. And I'm the one that literally gets your wrath. I'm at the end of your wrath because you're pissed off and you're having your moment. Like, who gives a fuck? So I did understand his frustration with her. I kind of was just like, all right, Michelle, like you're just spiraling because Johnny coming back impacts you.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it comes down to. And I feel like, yeah, like it's not fair for Josh to be at the brunt of that because, yeah, I don't know. And I feel like, well, no, I was about to say, would Theo have protected her? Of course, duh. That's Olivia's number one. But yeah, that's where I just was like, okay, Michelle, not everything is about you, girl. Like, let it go. Anyway, so the winner ends up being Bananas because Theo is not able to get out of the tube, the cylinder, to in enough time. And yes, Michelle was feeling a meltdown coming and threw that energy at Josh. Yeah, that's how I felt. I was just like, okay, girl. I mean, like, I get it. Josh yelling or rooting for somebody that has been against you this entire time is questionable, but like y'all known that Josh has been playing the middle, like you said, the entire season. Josh and Bananas friendships predates Michelle's since World. Yeah, exactly. So that's another thing. Right. But anyway, so the winner is Bananas. And then, of course, he chooses the usual targets. Olivia, Michelle, and Cara was chosen by association, as we learn later on.
Yeah.
Which I don't think any of the girls were surprised by his decisions whatsoever.
No.
They were expecting it. But I want to talk about these karma votes. So, these karma votes. So we see Nehemiah obviously give his number one guy in the house, Corey, a number 5. We expected that, right?
Yeah.
Laurel then calls Corey a floater. How did you feel about that? Because I didn't agree.
I don't think Laurel should have any say, to be honest. I think she is best off just doing the karma votes in silence and just don't speak. Like, just do yourself that favor and stop digging this hole deeper, because nothing that's coming out of your mouth has any type of basis or logic. That's what I'm just going to say, Keeks.
Right. No, but we got to continue because Laurel then gives Bananas a 1. The main person that has been defending Laurel in this house, spending time with Laurel willingly, really, and on top of that, defending her off of the show on his own podcast, was given a 1, and he was just as shocked as we were.
I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say, actually. I don't know. Y'all, I am speechless on this pod. I have no words.
Oh, but Dad does. But Dad does. You played yourself.
For sure.
You played yourself. Look at all that backing up you was doing. All for Laura to be like, yeah, you're going to get a 1.
Yeah. And he was pissed. He was pissed about it. He actually was talking on his podcast to Olivia and Theo, and he was basically saying, like, being backstabbed so many times has made it impossible for him to trust anybody. Like, being on this for 18 seasons and kind of having this back and forth where you think someone has your back and then all of a sudden you see actions like that. And I can get that, but like, Bananas, you got to choose better who your loyalties are, because there's some people on there who are loyal, and you're just picking all the wrong ones.
Then we see Laurel give Michelle a 2 because she believes that Michelle's not gonna make it to the final. And I said, babes, you didn't even make it through the mini final, so how about you hush up? I would rather you say, like, you know what? Whatever. It doesn't. I would rather Laurel say a lot of things, but clearly she does not give a damn. So
I wonder what she gave Cara.
I think she gave Cara like a 1. No.
Oh, I don't know. She doesn't say anything about
she
what she gave Cara. No.
I'm sure she gave I'm sure if she could, she gave Cara a 0. You know,
yeah.
I don't think she would have given her anything. And then Theo, of course, gives Olivia a 5, of course. And Lauren, I don't get the issue with people being a floater or a coaster. It seems like a good strategy to me. It's boring, but hey,
yeah,
it's strategy.
Yeah, and I think kind of being a floater is detrimental towards the end, right? Because I think you do need alliances. So I don't think there's a problem with it, but if you really want to make the final, you either have to be really, really good at eliminations, like a Horacio, where you're going to beat everyone over and over and over again, or you're most likely going to go home if you don't have an alliance.
Right. How is anyone surprised Laura wants Jordan to win? I'm not surprised by that. I don't know why anybody's surprised. She wouldn't root for a woman.
Y'all, Laurel and her decisions.
I'm not surprised.
That needs to be studied. Laurel needs to be studied as a human being, y'all. I'm thinking that's where we're at. Like, let's study her.
But yeah, not surprised that Laura wants Jordan to win whatsoever. I feel like that's expected. Laurel. Yeah. But all right, y'all. So that was episode 12. We're going to go right into episode 13. If you're still here watching with us or talking with us, thank you so much. Hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. Get into the live chat. we'll highlight some of your comments, and we're gonna keep this pushing. Okay, we're gonna be on certified yapper modes. Uh, so let's start getting into episode 13. Take it away, Lena.
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you guys again for everyone who's joining now with your lovely lady. So for episode 13, so we start off with Bananas claiming that he chose Olivia and Michelle for retaliation. And again, like Keith said, Cara is basically guilty by association, which we know that Bananas has had seasons of back and forth with Cara. So it's really nothing of a surprise to us, to be honest, that he picked her. We then shift to seeing Michelle is cooking with Derek, and Bananas and Josh kind of come to push her buttons. And really, there's this blowout with Michelle kind of going off on Josh, telling Josh to like stop talking and to leave her alone. I think my favorite part of this whole scene was Derek being so concerned about his tortillas. He was not wanting them to burn. I think that was the comic relief of that.
He's like, girl, focus on what we're doing. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to give you some cooking lessons and you out here arguing. Focus. Focus. Task at hand.
Oh my God. But yeah, they're kind of going off. Josh is getting in her face kind of about like, why are you so mad? And Michelle is really over it. Then we see our girl Olivia. She's grieving the loss of Theo because of their long distance relationship. And I'm like, girl, he just left. What loss are you grieving? Can we cut it out? I don't know. People fall in love really, really fast. Yeah.
In the challenge houses and BB houses. Yes, apparently.
Yeah, love is in the air, y'all.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting too. I was like, okay, this is where we're going to get. We're going to see this side of Olivia. We're obviously going to see her and Michelle be all sad, yada, yada, yada. Because we also see a little clip of Evelyn. Remember, like Evelyn
yes,
with discussing like going up against Kellyanne and how she would feel about that. I said, okay, so this is the theme. Two friends about to go against each other.
They set it up. They definitely set up the episode for sure.
Yes. Also, I want to make a comment again. The kitchen is trash. It is.
Do you see how small that kitchen is? Not the chamber being this dramatic, huge like place, and the kitchen they're like literally squished to cook.
I was just I was like so confused. I said, now I totally understand. And I mean, we saw it earlier in the season too. I totally understand why so many of the challengers were saying, or it was rumored that they hated this house because it was just poor amenities and all this other stuff. The episode focused on Michelle and Olivia and their feelings most of the time. Yes, it was so. That's why I'm saying, like, we're about to go through this really quick because it was not that entertaining. We're actually, this review has been more entertaining than that episode, honestly. But continue. Go ahead, Lita. Sorry.
No, it's okay. And then we see Corey trying to really figure out where he lies with the girls' pecking order, especially with Michelle. We do see him have kind of a conversation with Michelle later on in the episode where she's not really giving him a direct answer on whether she would save him or not. So Corey is kind of trying to figure out where he stands. And then we go into the daily challenge, which is called 40-Yard Dash. So a reminder of the targets, we have Cara Maria, Olivia, and Michelle. So with this challenge, players race through various obstacles in a 40-shaped trench to collect 6 puzzle pieces and return them to their station one at a time before using the puzzle pieces to assemble a puzzle. The first male and female to solve the puzzle wins. The last place male player receives a disadvantage at the next challenge, while the last place female player is automatically sent to the arena. As a disadvantage for placing second place in the previous challenge, Michelle now has a 1-minute time penalty. So I think this is kind of another time penalty that you really don't want, especially when you know that is a time challenge.
Yeah.
What'd you think about this challenge, Keeks?
I was a little bit bored, and I feel like it was good, right? Like that they had like the puzzle as the equalizer.
Yeah.
But I was a bit bored just because I feel like we didn't really see like the scenes that they were giving us and such, because like the crew couldn't like really get through the dirt path and the muddy path
Yeah.
themselves with the equipment. Like we saw so many people, right? Like
Yeah.
losing their sneakers. Like Corey actually makes a comment about like he sees mad shoes everywhere. You know, Aviv,
Yeah.
her shoe ends up like she ends up losing it.
Right
I'm
at the
over here like,
beginning.
and I'm like, the girl with this major foot injury don't got
Oh
shoes
my
on.
God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Girl.
And I think we had like a lot of like filming done by the GoPros. So again, it's not like we were seeing constant like communication or strategy talk. Like we see some scenes of Rachel working with Jenny. I
Yep.
think like who else? Tori and two other girls. Was it Tori?
Cara was working with Olivia because at one point Olivia was
Yes.
holding the
Yeah. So like they were working together. In general, like and I just feel like we didn't really see much of them. We just saw like a lot of bird's view
of
or
like
like
the
overhead
aerial
shots.
view.
Yeah, the aerial view of the challenge. But I did think that the puzzle was a tricky puzzle, and
It
I
really
really did like
was.
that. I was like, dang, I wouldn't have gotten that.
Yeah.
But I say it wasn't that bad. I just kind of wish it was more of an exciting daily, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. And again, I think like it really is kind of the production that's presented to us that makes it a little boring because we're not really we didn't really see much. We saw a lot of scrambling back and forth. And that kind of takes away of the excitement from the challenge. So I hear that. Some highlights, though, Keeks touched on it. Jenny and Rachel were working together. We see Olivia and Cara Maria working together at some point. The women get to start first, and then the men had a 30-second start after them. And then Michelle, again, had the 1-minute penalty, so she started later than everybody else. Jordan is really the first man to gather all his pieces and start the puzzle. He's quickly followed by Jenny, Olivia, Rachel, and Bananas. Really, in the end of the day, Jordan and Cara Maria complete the pyramid first, and they win the daily. And our losers, which I'm so sad for Corey comes in last, along with Michelle.
Yeah, I was so sad. Yeah, Corey calling on his homeboy Nelly T, knowing damn well Nelly wouldn't have figured that out.
You know what I saw? I saw something on X that said that Corey calling on Nelly T is funny because even if he had the answer key, he wouldn't be able to help appropriately. Oh. And I was like, damn, don't come on Nelly like that.
It's true though. It's true. Damn. They not lying. They ain't lie at all. Yeah, Corey can't get a break. Like he lost his number one guy in the house, and now he loses this dang daily, comes in last. Oh my gosh. I was just like, no, Corey, this is not the road I wanted for you. You deserve better. But yeah, Jordan, I thought was interesting him winning because there was a confessional of him saying pretty much he didn't want to win. Yes. He would prefer somebody else to win. That way they can set up the targets and he's still on everybody's good side. But at the same time, like he was still going to be in the clear pretty much because it was, what was it? I'm blanking. Oh my God. Pretty much he knows depending on like who wins. Well, with Cara winning, there's probably not gonna be a deliberation at all. So he's gonna be safe. Yeah, sorry, I like blanked out on that. But I was like, dang, I didn't really think that Jordan was gonna try to win. But at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt to win at all. You're safe, you're good. And he also didn't want Kylan to get another win, a 3P. And I said, oh, so Jordan is starting to peep. Yo, like Kylan is really my competition out here.
Yeah, because Kylan came in really close. So Jordan definitely kind of snagged the win at the end. And I
And then,
have to, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say because Bloody Money called it out. Hey, Bloody Money, Cara Clutch Maria. I was proud of Cara. I said
Yeah.
yes,
She
girl.
pulls out that win when she needs to. Like she pulls it out.
Hey AR, welcome. Yes, better late than never. We are covering episode 13 right now. We're on the challenge, the daily, so you got us at the perfect time. But yeah, I was like, good job, Cara. Like, yes, and that's what she felt, right? She was like, maybe me being the target will make me feel the pressure to even do better and pull out this win. And that's absolutely what she did at the perfect time. Now you're definitely not going in.
I'm happy that Cara kind of got a break this season where she's not constantly the target, but I'm not going to lie. Like, when we want to see Cara Maria perform, we need to have her back against the wall. Like, that's really when she shows up, shows out, and shows us what she's really made of. Being that underdog. Yeah, Cara definitely needed this. I agree, AR.
Yeah. She did. And then you know who else probably needed it more though? Michelle, because Michelle is at the losing group again. She is the loser for the women. And at this point, like, do I feel kind of bad for Michelle? I feel like it's kind of karma for her throwing in Horacio Kylan and Narisin last season as much as she did. And it is what it is. But I will say again, I do think that Michelle does not give herself much credit, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But she also has been performing well. Her elimination record is looking good.
Yeah, for real.
And she's holding her own.
She definitely is, for sure. This season is, she doesn't have much alliances anymore left, and she really has to step up to keep going. But speaking about Michelle, so she is coming in last. I guess there's feelings of frustration. So she stirs up some drama on the bus. Aviv and Banana's Foot kind of touch at some point, on the bus, and Michelle makes a comment of, hey, can I join the party as well? Really looking to push Banana's buttons. And Bananas is acting like this knight in shining armor, coming to Aviv's defense, saying that you're affecting her life, that you're making it personal, blah 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 blah. And then Banana just goes in on taking shots at Michelle. What did you have? Like, what are your thoughts, Keeks? Because it was such childish drama. I was just like, oh god.
So okay, clearly Michelle must have said much more for Aviv to seriously have a conversation with her later and say that she didn't appreciate how Michelle was trying to involve him and made it personal. And even we even see Rachel make a comment about this too, right? In the confessional, how for Michelle to stoop to Banana's level was just very surprising. However, I didn't think it was anything crazy, but clearly it must have been something more. However, Michelle, I need her to lean into this villain.
Yes.
Role, okay? If you're gonna be this big bad bitch and start drama like this, lean into it. Like, I'm kind of tired of Michelle acting like she's like this good girl next door kind of thing. Because I feel like she would be much more liked by the challenge fandom
as a villain.
I
agree. I would like her more. Y'all, I'm saying this on the podcast for all of you to hear. What's today's date? November 15th. If Michelle becomes a villain of the challenge, but owns it, not like that sneaky villain where I'm your friend in your face, but I do shit behind it. No. Be the villain in everyone's face. I will like you so much more.
Yes, own that shit. Own it. And then, we have Cara defending Michelle, saying come on, dude, against a girl, you look whack, which he does. But Bananas has looked whack for how long?
Yeah.
Y'all know Bananas loves to buck at women. He loves to argue with women and he likes to rile them up and all that stuff. But yeah, Michelle, I'm gonna need you to accept the villain role, baby, because you would shine and like you're petty. But yeah, like I feel like she's not accepting of it. And Dabu, you said it. She's too much of a victim to be a full villain. And it's just like, girl, like stop.
Yeah.
Pull that you because she has it in her. You saw her. She was
Yes.
smirking. She was smirking. She was looking forward to start some shit. She was sipping on that water. She was like, I already know he gonna say something. Can I join in on the party?
Yeah.
Like,
And that
girl.
and honestly, it didn't take much to rile him up. Well, you said it. We don't necessarily know the whole backstory. But I feel like even all of our followers are in agreement. Like, girl, be the villain. We want to see it.
But she won't do it, man. She won't do it.
Oh man. So Corey continues, Corey is continuing to try to figure out where he lies on people's order. Again, I feel bad for Corey. He just really wants to move forward, and the game means a lot to him. Yeah. But surprisingly enough, we see Cara and Corey talk game and kind of determine that, hey, I don't really have anyone. You don't really have much. Why don't we become each other's number one? And Corey's very open to it, with the exception of Michelle, because he says that right now Michelle is his number one, but there is a question mark there.
Right. Pretty much dependent.
Did you see that for me?
No. So I was like, finally, because I was like, okay, I like this. I'm happy about this.
Yeah.
I like the fact that y'all are finally talking about this and you guys have each other so high in each other's list. Okay. But I was happy that Corey also made it clear to her, like, listen, if depending on what Michelle does, you could take her spot right away.
Yep.
And I got you. And I was just like, why haven't we seen more of this? I was just like, why did they take so long? But then I also think, knowing Cara and Corey and how they play this game, it makes sense that it took them this long.
Yeah. Neither of them are very like talking game, at least in the smartest way. So, but listen, better late than never. I'm happy they connected, and I'm excited to see like what next episodes bring with this little like hidden alliance that just developed.
And then we see like Johnny, the whole conversation about Johnny's angels being really Rachel's angels, because Josh pretty much commits to the alliance, and Aviv is the one that catches this. But Josh pretty much said, listen, I don't care, because at the end of the day, she's gonna be mad at me no matter what. I would have liked to play with her, but like, if pretty much it gets my ass into elimination, or I receive some blowback like I've been doing the whole entire season, I'll deal with it.
I am very excited to see this reunion, because I feel like Josh is going to get lit up on this reunion, because I'm sorry, he played every angle this season. Like, I think even his friends like Tori, Casey, I think he's going to he's doing a lot. Let's just say
that. I mean, we see later, like we see that Tori says, although Josh has been playing both sides and he's still close with like Bananas or whatever, she still has him as her number two. So, I mean, she's still aligned with him. Nonetheless, I will say Kylan made a very valid point, right? Like, Josh needs to understand that, yes, you can be friends with everybody, but you can't be allies with everybody. That's especially this far in the game, like you're gonna have to pick sides. And I guess he chose Rachel's side. So I'm gonna see how that works out. And then we have moments of Michelle obviously breaking down before the elimination. And
snooze.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I rolled my eyes, y'all. I rolled my eyes. But I did think Tori gave her really good advice.
She did. Tori did tell her to basically focus on the game when they were out, and just really prioritize herself, and that's what Michelle needs to do. So, because she's sad that she has to go against her, her best friend. And I don't think we said this yet, but there won't be a deliberation, because as we said in the Daily Win, Carver won. Michelle came in last. The only other target that was left was Olivia. So we already knew right there and then that it was going to be an Olivia Michelle matchup. So it wasn't going to be. There was no deliberation this episode.
So it was good, and like Jordan was chilling.
Yeah.
Jordan was chilling like Jordan's been doing this entire season, to be quite honest, just chilling.
Have y'all gotten into Olivia? Why am I not feeling her at all? She brings nothing to the show. Thoughts, even her fights with Rotten Fruit. I'm like,
I have nothing to say about Olivia because literally she's done nothing.
She gave nothing. She was just another romance on the show this season. That's it.
So yeah, honestly, I mean, like, I'm sure her and Theo are very happy with their relationship, and that's great that they found love in the Challenge House. But everything about Olivia this season was about Theo and Michelle.
Yes, correct. Theo, her boo, Michelle, her best friend. She loves her. Her number one. We heard it. We know it. We get it. Yes.
They cried about it. We were over it. Yeah.
We cried about it in the ambulance. We cried in it in the room. We cried in it outside. And we hear you. We're sad. Okay. Best friends. Next.
So let's get into the elimination then, right?
Please.
And so it's called Stranded. And I actually like this elimination. I thought this was a pretty cool one. So, and I love the fact that they walk into the arena and everybody's like, what the hell? And they're like, what the hell is this? Like, this is kind of a crazy setup. But players are attached to a suspension where they have to run outside of the arena or their area to grab these ladder rungs. Players then assemble a ladder by placing 40 rungs, little bars, in their correct position within a DNA-shaped frame. Once completed, they must climb the ladder to collect a bag of letter tiles and use the letters to solve like a 3-word phrase. And the 3-word phrase was not eliminated tonight. And the first player to solve the phrase wins. I just want to say, Michelle, you are so lucky that production has been giving you eliminations that cater to your strengths.
Yes.
Because you have not gotten anything physical. And I don't remember who said it on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But Michelle is definitely being set up to be the female Devin because they're getting these eliminations that always have some sort of puzzle element to them. Yeah. And granted, like, Michelle has surprised us. I'm not going to say that is her only strength. She literally just finished beating Naya.
Yeah.
You know, but it still involved the equations, the math problems, and it was not something physical like a hall brawl, right? Yes. It wasn't something like pole wrestling.
Yeah. And you know, it's a little frustrating because I definitely think that these eliminations were not pre-planned, like, which I kind of would have liked so much more. I kind of wish production would have pre-planned all of the eliminations and whoever came into it. But the fact that, like, they're definitely catering to who they want to win that elimination, boring. Come on.
Right. Boring. Freaking Abby Lee Miller.
Every time I say boring, I'm waiting for you to finish it.
Oh, sorry. I just keep thinking about her saying that.
Yeah. I like literally wait for you to say boring,
sloppy. Why was she so nasty to them children? I still don't know to this day. Like, and their parents signed them up for that show. I can't.
Damn.
Anyway, so I was very surprised by Michelle's strategy, and I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that Michelle was going to get up the ladder faster because of her strategy. But Olivia was like, look, I'm just gonna start putting these bars in and see how they go. And pretty much trial and error, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so it kind of looks like they're a little wobbly, like they don't necessarily like lock in place. Yep. So you do see some of them popping off. How did you feel about? Yeah, how did you feel about that? Like the strategies and the difference between Michelle and Olivia, because again, I really thought Michelle would have been doing better putting the latter together.
I agree. I was surprised at how well Olivia was doing. I know she said she had a rock climbing history, so getting up wasn't my concern, but just fitting them, the way she was able to fit them so fast. I also felt that Michelle wobbled a lot getting up and like would have bars that would fall out more than Olivia did. Like Olivia seemed really solid in her climb. But I mean, it doesn't matter because as solid as she was with her climb, she couldn't figure out the phrase. So
right. And I think where Olivia fucked up at, right? Because she was the first one to get the puzzle pieces to figure out the 3 word phrase, is that she put the letters like on top of the place, like
yes,
where she would have to put the puzzles on the board. So I feel like Michelle was so smart by laying it all out. And you hear Josh and he's like, this is your elimination. This is set up for you. Like you are the word puzzle queen, right? We've heard Corey make comments about the fact that like Michelle does word puzzles, etc.
Yeah.
All these comments about her being so good at puzzles. And I was like, of course, like once Michelle gets started, it's done deal. And we even see Olivia mention like, she's dyslexic. And I'm like, wait, is she really dyslexic? Because that's also type fucked up. But anyway, I was just like, damn, like this is kind of like Olivia's really about to go out like this. And she was pretty far ahead. Like she had a good lead on Michelle. And then a part of me also like started questioning, like, didn't Olivia give up? Because she kind of was just like, and do I want to get back into this house? Like my best friend's not going to be there. This guy that I've like fallen in love with in the challenge house is not going to be there. Is it really worth it? But I don't think that she gave up. I was just maybe editing made it seem that way in a way to me.
Yeah, I definitely don't think she gave up. I definitely think that she just was really stuck at the puzzle and she was kind of defeated because she was there for a minute before Michelle. So it just wasn't her elimination. And then we see Michelle kind of again, we don't really appreciate timing, but it seemed like Michelle got it relatively quick. And what's frustrating is that Olivia got the word not.
Right.
She actually got it. So
she just couldn't get the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the winner is Michelle. Michelle is now 3-0 when it comes to eliminations this season. She's honestly done a really great job. I'm surprised at Michelle's abilities to an extent. Like she surprises me a lot. And again, I just don't think she gives herself enough credit. But she did well. I'm sure it was really hard for her and Olivia to go up against each other, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. I mean, nobody really cares. I'm sorry. I don't care.
Yeah. Next.
Sorry. So then Michelle has the opportunity to pick targets. And of course, she picks Bananas. She chooses Josh, which makes sense because they've been beefing. Yeah. And then she chooses Corey. And again, Corey. Oh my God. Corey's just taking Corey left and right.
But Corey and Cara gave each other a look. Like she's like, all right, solidified.
Yep. Cara did make that comment. She's like, guess I'm Corey's number 1 now, which I love. I'm all for Corey and Cara working together, guys. Like, I love it. They should have been talked, but hey, it is what it is. And I just feel like more than likely people are not going to assume that they're working together.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they'll be very smart to keep it like a hush hush alliance. Like don't advertise it.
Right. And then we see next week's trailer, right? I think the daily looks like so much fun. I love when they're like jumping off the trucks and everything like that. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun for them.
Those are the best.
So I think that's going to be fun. It doesn't look like we're going to get much drama. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if we really get any drama for the rest of the season, to be honest. I feel like Banana or Rachel's allies or Banana's angels, Rachel's angels, whoever we're gonna call them. I'm sorry, they're boring. Like other than Bananas, they're pretty boring. Like Josh is trying to play the middle. The girls aren't really providing. Rachel's really more focused on strategy, which good for her. And who do we have left?
Yeah.
Michelle?
Yeah, you're right.
Jordan, Tori.
I mean, I'm still enjoying the season. I am still enjoying it, but it has slowed down. And yeah, I agree with you, Lena. I don't think we're going to see much drama unless Banana stay there. Banana said he's disappointed in Josh heading to next week. Yeah, because more than likely, like, Josh can't protect him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it. And what else can we really say about that? Like, Bananas has been disappointed at everybody who hasn't defended him or protected him.
Correct. Like, correct.
And Rachel said, Tori, are you working with Bananas? And she said yes. Oh, I didn't peep that. Dang. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Either. Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Unveil
y'all.
that. Yeah.
But before we go, I know that there's been a lot of stuff happening, obviously surrounding Laurel and the drama and what Laurel's been saying, specifically regarding Nurys. And last week during election day, that Wednesday, Laurel decided to make a crazy comment talking. Oh my God. Let's see. Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up because what in the heck?
Laurel is not giving up either because she keeps on making these outrageous comments to Nurys.
Yeah. So pretty much, Laurel makes a comment insinuating, or she's on a live and she says that Nurys is just mad because Horacio said she was his biggest blessing from the challenge and calls Nurys an angry woman, right? All these things. And then Nurys decides to tweet and goes, today is about the election, but tomorrow, oh, this ugly old ass shit, Big Bird, no friend, no life having ass bitch will be getting extra violated. I'm about to embarrass the fuck out of her. I told her to keep my name out of her mouth, but since she didn't, I got something for her. And listen, Nurys was going off. You can definitely check her Twitter, X, however you want to call it, but she was very clear about how she felt about Laurel. And I mean, I don't blame her at all. And what else did she say? She says, imagine being 40 with no life, no kids, no man, no woman, no kids, and the most disgusting personality. And not only that, but the man you wanted never wanted you, and I got him. I guess I'd hate me too. And make sure she @ Laurel.
Love.
And yeah, so Laurel eventually responds to this. And Laurel is again convinced that Horacio would appreciate the way that she is talking about Nurys, and even puts out a post of him and Nurys and says like his biggest blessing, right?
Oh God.
But then there's more, guys, because Laurel apparently comes across whatever Nurys has been saying and pretty much says, just saw this to Nurys. Sorry your man wanted me first and you're his sloppy, very sloppy seconds. I'm not single. She ain't even got one thing right. She's angry inside. Sucks to be her. All of us know Horacio is going to leave her and marry somebody else. His whole family and friends think it too. It's only a matter of time. So enjoy the publicity while you got it, girl.
I want to know what family and friends you're talking to, Laurel, that you got saying all these family and friends.
Listen, Laurel, put the phone down. Just stop. Just stop. You making it seem like you and Horacio had a relationship of some sort needs to stop, because the man is not claiming you anyway. He rejected you. He never did. And this is embarrassing for you, especially for, like, I'm just so appalled by Laurel's behavior. And I need somebody that is a true friend to Laurel to let her know that she's looking crazy out here.
Yeah. No, for real, for real. Okay, so question for you, Keeks. So we all know that Horacio isn't really the confrontational type, but do you think that he should make a statement at this point?
Oh, if he hasn't reached out to her to check her,
but not even reach out to her
or yeah, make
I think he should publicly make a statement. Like, I think, like, at this point, she's crossed so many lines that he needs to say something. He needs to, like, if it means ending that friendship, so be it. Because honestly,
I think Horacio unfollowed her. I think Horacio unfollowed her.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good.
Yeah, I think that's what they were saying. But in general, it's just so interesting because you even have Olivia, right? Who knows Horacio and Nurys, and like her and Nurys, they still have a good friendship. So she said on the Challenge podcast, and she even calls Laurel like, clearly something is wrong with Laurel. Like, she's a little delusional right now, and that maybe the voices in her head are telling her that Horacio has been in love with her, like, and he never has been. It does seem very high school Lauren. I totally agree with that. I do think that it's insane, but I do understand Nurys also standing up for herself when somebody's dragging her publicly and speaking about her relationship. I would understand her being, and Nurys has always been the type to call things out. So I'm not surprised by her responding. He made up a fake girlfriend to get rid of you. Ah, I'm dead. Yeah, and then you have Laurel, obviously, as we saw the Mount Rushmore, right? It included Cara, CT, Laurel, Bananas, and Jordan, right? And then all of a sudden, Laurel, obviously talking her ish about Cara as she has been this entire season. She decides, and Cara's been talking shit too, but she decides to make sure she crops out Cara out of this Mount Rushmore.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. She is spiraling, man. She is really spiraling. I don't know if it's a matter that like the challenge is slowly icing her out and this is her only way to stay relevant. I don't know what it is, but I actually used to really respect Laurel a lot as a challenger. I mean, listen, she definitely always had her nasty comments and had some questionable behavior, but I really respected her as a challenger. The last 2 times I've seen her on All Stars 4 in this season, I'm like, retire, sis. You're good.
It's not looking good. And God, she's still going off about Horacio. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, even today, she made a comment and says, no matter how hard you attempt to embarrass me by shooting your insults that are literally so dumb and not even offensive because you aren't even right about anything, damning as many spoiler pages you can, speaking about me as your topic of convo is major lame, but take your time focusing on me, whatever floats your boat. The reality is I had your man first. He never had a problem with my age. And when he dumps you, him and I will still be friends. Why are you so gung-ho about claiming a man that clearly wants nothing to do with you as a friend?
Seriously.
Girl. Yes.
Right,
Lauren. Keep posting cute ass photos with you and your man being a fine ass couple, being one of the challenge it couples in the new era, or the challenge it couple now for the new era. Like, and do you? Because clearly, Laurel, nobody's on your side because you're looking crazy out here. You need somebody really needs to grab you and tell you stop.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna look back at this and you're gonna regret this because the behavior is just so unnecessary and uncalled for. And honestly, I expected more from a bad bitch like a freaking strong ass competitor like Laurel. I'm sorry,
you're ruining. She hasn't learned. She hasn't learned in so many seasons, like from her behavior. I don't know that she's gonna look back and regret it. I really don't.
You're right. You're right. She might not.
But I agree with you. Like, you were such a badass competitor. Like, people feared you. Now people just are embarrassed by you. Like, it's such a shame.
But yeah, that's the way Laurel's doing it, y'all. And who knows? Yeah, she maybe she learned a little bit too much from Nicole Z. I don't know. Even Nicole Z has managed to have a more positive image around her than Laurel has. I don't know. It's bad. It's coming out like desperate.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I would just deactivate.
Girl.
But clearly she doesn't want to. She has no shame. Bring back shame, okay? Bring back shame. We need shame to come back. But that's it, y'all. I don't really have anything else to comment on. Obviously, like, the people have been active on the pods. People are commenting here and there. I know Marie's pod is coming out soon with Zach Nichols. I know the Aviv episode, I believe, just dropped. And again, if there's anything else that y'all want us to cover on, please comment on our after the live, or anything that you guys want us to look into. But yes, it shows your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Yes, Lauren, very, very valuable. And yes, we will let Brendan know that you guys missed him. Thank you guys again so much for supporting us, sticking it out with us. It was a jam-packed episode, this live review. But we hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you again for spending your Friday nights with us. And yeah, anything else you want to comment on, Lena, before we go? You good?
No, thank you all.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.